The City of Paducah has dozens of boards and commissions that work to advise the City Commission. Today we're going to learn about the Civic Beautification Board and all the work that they do to beautify Paducah. I'm your host, Public Information Officer Pam Spencer. Your City at Work is next. Today's episode of Your City at Work is all about the Civic Beautification Board and planting a dogwood and the Dogwood Trail, plus some other things that we're going to work in. But I'm joined now by Morse with the Civic Beautification Board. We're here at beautiful Dolly McNutt Plaza. And Ro, first tell me about this bench and table that we're sitting at. This is special out here.
It is. For years we've been wanting to replace the old benches and tables that were here, and we have finally done that. And individuals in the community have supplied funds to do that. Anybody can do that if they'd like. If they'd like to add to the tables that are here or the benches, which if you look around, we need more benches. They can go to Paducah, ky.gov, go to Park Services, and there'll be a form they can fill out. It's really easy to do, and it's something that anybody would love to have done in honor or memory of them.
Oh, that is beautiful, and it's so convenient out here. I work at City Hall, and so I get to come out here at lunchtime if I would like, and I see so many people using this beautiful plaza.
It is.
Now, Ro, first tell me a little bit more about Civic Beautification. It is an advisory board.
That's correct.
Tell us kind of its mission.
It's made up of volunteers, and we're appointed by the commission. And we just agree to be aware of what's going on in the community, ways to beautify the city. And like you said, we work as an advisory board. And we really depend on the expertise of other people in particular areas to get things done. And we kind of are the bridge to make those things happen a lot of times.
How many members do you have? How big of a board is this?
Oh, it's about 20 people, men and women, people who just love Paducah. Some are arborists. We have very few of those in Paducah, certified arborists. Some are just people who love Paducah and are aware. A lot of garden club members are on our board. And people like myself that just love Paducah, and we love to do anything we can to make it pretty.
And you're a past chair of the board?
Yes, I was a chairman for 2 years, and I just recently rejoined the committee.
Well, tell us about one of your signature events, the Dogwood Trail.
The Dogwood Trail.
It's one of your biggest loves.
Yes, it is. We have been celebrating the Dogwoods in Paducah this will be our 48th year in the spring. And as we look ahead to the 50th year, we realize that so many of the Dogwoods were damaged during the ice storm, during droughts that we've had for all kinds of reasons, and we need to start replacing those dogwoods. So today we're going to be planting and showing how to plant dogwoods the proper way, not only how to plant them, but where to plant them. And we're in a period of time right now, as long as the ground's not frozen, it's a good time to plant a tree.
Now tell us about the changes that you want to do to the Dogwood Trail this year, and I guess inviting different neighborhoods to it?
Yes. The Dogwood Trail as it exists now and has for years is about 12 miles long, and there are dark spots on the trail, where nothing is lighted. So what we want to do this year is emphasize the neighborhoods. We want to invite neighborhoods to light up, to come into agreement to light their neighborhoods, let us know, and then the trail will lead from neighborhood to neighborhood. And you can call like 519-1321. And if you'll commit your neighborhood to be on the trail, and you'll do it before the 1st of January, then you'll be on the trail. The Visitors Bureau makes a map every year, and it'll be on that. We'll actually put your neighborhood on the trail. We'll lead to you. As long as you're in the city of Paducah, we will make sure the trail comes to your neighborhood.
So are you looking for individuals to call to ask to be put on there, or actually get together in your neighborhood?
In your neighborhood, and it may just be a group of like 6 or 7 homes down one block. And all neighborhoods don't have names. There's not always a Fountain Avenue neighborhood or a Lower Town neighborhood or a West End neighborhood. But there are little areas, like I live on Springwell Lane, and there are like about 10 houses there. We don't have a name for our neighborhood, but we are a neighborhood. And so if we all got together and we decided we're going to commit to lighting up this spring, it doesn't mean you have to even like dogwoods. have your porch light on, have a spotlight on anything that's blooming. And we have an old saying that we've held on to for years that says, light up Paducah, company's coming, or we're having company, because that is about the time when all the quilters come into Paducah and we double our population. So that's what we're going to focus on this year, going from neighborhood to neighborhood. It'll be the same signs, the same images, but we're going to really focus on going from neighborhood to neighborhood.
So this could make the map really expand. You could start including neighborhoods, say, would you look at south sides in those areas?
Anywhere. Any neighborhood in the Paducah city limits. Yes.
Goodness.
And we want to add neighborhoods. We want from people to really get a feel of our entire city. And we don't care how far, it is or how long it takes. It'll be like a big loop. You can get on at any point and the signs will lead you, or you can have a map either way.
And the Convention Visitors Bureau always puts together the map.
Yes, they do. Rosemary Steele, their marketing director there, has that on her computer, and all we have to do is give her the go-ahead and show her where to put your neighborhood, and we'll highlight your little area, and then the map will lead people there, and you can show off your neighborhood.
Where did this idea come from? Was it just
my goodness,
request from neighbors?
This comes back from a long time ago when people have called into City Hall and said, what about our neighborhood? We want you to let that trail come and focus, on our neighborhood. Why is our neighborhood left off? And we've had a basic trail for the years that we've kind of added alternate routes to. And we decided, we should include every neighborhood that wants to be included. Why not? People, you aren't restricted to a certain number of blocks or an area to go to. And there are long areas of the trail, as it has existed for years, where there aren't any lighted dogwoods. This way people will not be anticipating a constant lighted trail. It'll be taking you from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Oh, that's a great plan. I think that's just going to be something that the entire city can really pull together for.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. We already have had some calls, and there seems to be a lot of interest in it. We're not going to put signs or tags on everybody's door this year. We're just going to rely on the media and word of mouth to let people know.
And they need to call the number by
the 1st of January.
1st of January.
Yes,
Give us the number.
519-1321. Or you can go to paducahky.gov and go over to services, and alphabetically you'll go down there and you'll find Civic Beautification, and we'll make sure that the information is on there, a number to call.
And I'll be the one putting that information on there.
So we know it will be there.
I'll make sure I get all that information and put it on there. Well, Rose, is there anything more about the Dogwood Trail that you want to share? Or
I think that we've just about talked about the essence of the trail. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way to see Paducah and showcase Paducah in the spring. And there are bicycle rides, that go on the trail. People walk the trail. It's a great way to show off the beauty of Paducah. And the beauty is important. You say, well, that's just surface. It's not. How you feel about your community, if it's all littered and dirty and not kept, you don't have that pride. Even children growing up, they act better. It's a fact when they're in pretty surroundings. So we want to emphasize one of our beauties, and that's our dogwood trees.
And talking about dogwood trees, one of the next things is we're going to plant a dogwood tree, and there's a right way and wrong way of doing this.
Absolutely.
So behind me, we have several people back here looking at a dogwood tree. We have Dabney Haugh with the Civic Beautification Board. We have Les Evans, he's a park maintenance supervisor, and we have Bud Qualk, he's a master gardener, as well as the chair of the Mayfield Tree Advisory Board. We're going to go over there in just a second, and they're going to plant a dogwood.
Thanks, Pam. Les and I are here today at Dolly Plaza in the perfect location under the canopy, right next to the sidewalk. And the hole's already been dug, and that's the best part, isn't it, Les? That's the hard part.
The guys have helped out quite a bit.
Let's talk about the hole. What is this? Can you dig a hole and throw the tree in, or what?
No. Basically, we want a hole that's roughly about twice the diameter of the root ball that we're planting. In this case, we can see, we can just kind of use this as a rule of thumb. Here we go. We've got more than enough, so we're probably about 2.5, probably.
Okay, there's not much topsoil here, probably about 4 or 5 inches, and below that's clay.
Right, a lot of, like I say, it's compacted, over the years, use and everything like that. We've they've dug it down, and I've dug it a little bit wider here on the sides. And the biggest thing that you really have to watch out for is glazing. You know, you can see that where we've taken out this piece where the shovel actually.
I've seen a lot even worse than that around the edges. Yeah,
right.
The roots will not penetrate that.
What you have to do with that is you just have to, basically what we did here is we just went around and we just broke that up. So that way.
Watch out for that root right there.
With the exception of that root right there.
Now, since there's clay right underneath there, there's no reason to dig it any deeper and go down into that clay.
No.
So we're going to plant a little bit higher than what they say in the book.
Yeah, exactly. I tend to like to plant dogwoods a little bit higher. A lot of my trees just a tad bit higher, as opposed to planting them too deep. A lot of times you plant them too deep, they don't get air circulation. The roots cannot breathe, and also a lot of diseases will come in and cause.
You never want to plant too deep.
Exactly.
You can always err on the other side.
Right.
And since we're planting this in the dedication to the memory of Dabney's sister, Amy Richmond, Dabney, come on over here. Let's help me pull this tree in here.
All right.
You got it? You got it? Don't fall. Ah. Okay.
All right.
Now, normally what I do is because sometimes the hole's pretty big, and just to see how you're doing. Well, you can't see that on the camera.
Right. Other side there.
So you can see we're just a little bit higher than normal.
Right.
Which.
And we're going. I'll tell you another thing we're going to do when we get her down in here. We're going to take this wire basket off. We don't really need this wire anymore. It's basically just for transporting. So we're going to remove this wire part here. If it'll cooperate for us.
Dan, have you got a knife on you? Okay, that's always easier than it looks.
All right. All right.
Here.
There we go. Also,
now I've seen people leave that on there, and you never want to do that with the metal or the plastic because it doesn't deteriorate, it doesn't biodegrade.
Right.
And your roots are going to go around in circles and not get any bigger in this hole right here, and it's going to suck. It's going to choke itself to death.
A lot of these actually are rot-resistant burlaps that they use, so you have a little bit longer shelf life.
The book says you can leave it on there, but I wouldn't do it. And you see nursery people do it all the time.
We're actually just going to lay it back.
You want to leave it underneath, or you can pull it out?
Well, since we got it there, we can go ahead and move it. There we go. Because that, you can look at that one. It's not really not rotting real well.
That didn't take long.
No. All right.
Okay, we're planting a little bit deeper. I mean, a little bit shallower than we thought.
Right.
And it's a really good looking tree. I don't think we have to worry about too much about what's front and back. Sometimes you want to do that in your yard, especially if you plant it in an alcove or something like that. You want the best side to come out.
I think it's got a pretty good shape.
And we're not going to prune it today because.
No, the only thing that we're actually going to prune that we would actually have to prune, which we can do at a later time. But let's go ahead and nip this one here. You can see where we kind of broken it off. And
damaged
actually,
limbs?
Yeah, well, it's actually dead. So, that's just normal. I mean, it's not that there's anything wrong with the tree. That's just normal. Shades out the other pieces of plant material, the stems, and new growth comes along.
And the tree's already stressed because what we're doing to it right now, so we don't want to stress it any more than we have to.
Right.
We're going to prune it, probably wait at least 1 year.
Yeah.
And what about topping? You like topping trees?
No, especially
Real
dogwoods.
Morse don't pay any attention to
we've already got our flower buds. They're already set for the spring.
Flower buds are ready.
So if we went and did that topping, we're going to stimulate a lot of excess growth that we really don't want. Plus, we're going to take off about 50% of our flower buds. Never top.
And when's the best time to prune?
You can prune just about any time of year, but with the dogwoods, you want to prune right after they bloom. Would be the ideal time. Now, the only disadvantage of that would be if you have a problem with dogwood borers. Sometimes you just have to be real selective and treat those areas and spray with the appropriate herbicides or the insecticides to make sure you don't have a problem with dogwood borers.
Any tree or shrub that blooms, you always want to wait till after the bloom to prune, or else you're going to cut the blooms off.
Right.
Okay, we ready to fill it back in?
We're going to start. What we're going to do is we're going to fill her about halfway, and then we're going to pack it a little bit, and then we'll add a little bit of water to her there.
That water will help it pack compact. What's handy for that shovel on the other side over there where he had to pick it up, right, Dan? That's not too bad soil.
No, it's not bad at all. You can tell, we definitely, you look at the pin oak or the willow oaks around here, you can tell that they're
doing
performing
well.
quite well. All right, go ahead.
Tell me when you're ready. You ready?
Let me pack just a little bit.
And you compact it like that because there's air pockets in there, and the air pockets will not help the root growth.
Yeah.
That water will make sure we get water all the way down to the bottom of the hole.
Exactly.
Because if you wait till you fill the hole up, sometimes the water will run off. Plus, it'll also compact take the air pockets out. Now, Dabney bought this at a local nursery and put it in the back of her pickup truck and drove it over here. And she was smart enough to know not to go very fast, because if you go very fast,
you're going to take off all your foliage, what's left there.
Yeah, burn them off.
Burn 'em
Might
off.
kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
So she did the right thing. How about fertilizer, Les? You like putting fertilizer maybe on in the spring or something?
Generally, you know, a lot of your trees, November, December are ideal times to, you know, fertilize your trees. You can do it in the springtime, but ideal time they're going to take it up is going to be November, December. You can put basically, you know, any of your ones that are recommended.
10-10-10 or something like that?
Exactly. That
Don't need any high nitrogen stuff?
No high nitrogen fertilizers. No.
That brings up another point. When's the best time to plant a tree?
Yeah.
The nurseries have their big volume of trees in the spring and March, and that's when they usually promote it, but isn't the fall the best time to plant?
Fall's the best time. A lot of our minds are probably thinking in the spring, but if, you know, it's kind of hard to get everybody to think of, you know, in the fall, but, you know, fall to me is probably ideal time for my trees and shrubs, but, you know, technically if you've got water and conditions right, you can plant any time of the year.
Less maintenance because of the drought we have every summer. If you plant in the spring, you got to water all summer long.
Yeah, this actually will start establishing before the spring too, a little bit too, so that'll help out.
And what kind of care? You're getting to do all the good work here.
Yeah.
You want me to shovel some? Or
Shoot, yeah.
I fell for that, Dan. What other maintenance? Once the tree's established, we got to water it in, a little fertilizer maybe. Then what? We got the lawn mowing people. We got to put up with them.
Yeah. After we get it just about where we want it at, we're going to get her up here, and we're going to give her another little drink, kind of taper it up a little bit, and we're going to put some pine bark mulch on it.
Well, you're the arborist. You tell me when you're ready to do a little tamping.
Yeah, I think a little bit more because still hadn't kind of got it. We're going to use. Should have brought that rake out.
Well, Dan got back quick, didn't you? See where he's at over?
Yeah.
We won't hurt you, Dan.
There we go. Rake those up. There you go. I can't get the rest of this here.
And we're doing a lot more here than the average person would do. You don't want to wear yourself out and say, I'll never plant another tree. That's enough for me. So you don't have to go overboard every time you plant a tree, but this is the main way I like to do it.
Here, let me see that shovel there if you don't mind. Get that side over there. Right to it.
You want to tamp first or you want to water?
I want to tamp just a little bit. I'm going to taper it up to it.
How much do you charge to do this type of?
No charge today.
No charge today? Could have used a little bit more water, but I think it'll be okay. It's supposed to rain in 2 days. Now for one of the finishing touches, let's put this expensive mulch you come up with. This is pine bark.
Yep. I think it'll add a nice touch.
Want to make it pretty or not, or just throw it on there?
Yeah, we'll pretty her up here in a minute. Hides a lot of imperfections. Also adds to the.
I guess you want to put the whole bag on there?
Yep. Yes, sir. I sure did.
Okay.
We just don't. There we go.
Now we're at Dogwood Nut Plaza and we're underneath these willow oaks, but in someone's yard, what are the best locations in a yard, say on Jefferson Street or south?
Under the canopy of trees, part shade, is what we're looking for.
They don't like bright sun, do they?
Bright sun, you'll see a few that actually have, performed real well there, but generally part sun is where you want to go with.
I pulled that back. That makes the water stay there better, but
yeah,
it takes away a place a rodent or some little animal might hide right up next to the bark there. You're always supposed to pull the bark away just a little bit.
Exactly.
You don't want to volcano it like you see some of these people halfway up the tree. They got the mulch. So you can put it under power lines, which most trees you can't.
Well, you could.
They're high.
Yeah, I don't know whether they would recommend. I mean, you could, but I know a lot of the power line guys. I know talking to some of the power guys. They
don't like dogwoods either.
They like dogwoods, just maybe a little bit more.
They like nothing.
About 20 foot, far of the power line. It's that's kind of their space area.
They like shade, and maybe your house may be located where the house even shades it sometimes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You can use your house. You can use structures. A lot of areas, microclimates, I guess you could say, where, there are areas that they prefer is that part shade. Preferably, probably, not a western, where they're going to get the western sun in the afternoons would be ideal if you can prevent
I've got one on the side of my house that only gets a little bit of morning sun. It's perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, we're going to stake this?
We're not going to stake this. We're going to watch this, and this gets a pretty windy area.
Pretty sturdy.
It's pretty sturdy. I think it's going to be fine. If we need to, we will. But we always try to give it. If we don't have to.
Staking can damage the bark, and you got to come back and watch it. It might get it might even grow over top of it, and that'd be the worst thing that could happen.
We generally try to keep a pretty good idea, but yeah, a lot of people forget about it.
And the tree gets sturdier with growth if it's not staked. It doesn't have that crutch.
Exactly.
It goes with any kind of plant.
Exactly.
Well, I guess, what do you think? Back to Pam?
I'd say back to Pam.
I have to say thank you to Les Evans, who is a certified arborist in Bud Qualk with Master Gardeners, for planting that beautiful dogwood. And the person who donated that dogwood is with me now, Dabney Haugh. Thanks for joining me. We've got our notes here with us. Now tell me a little bit more about, we've got the Dogwood Trail. I talked to Roe Morse about the Dogwood Trail. There's going to be a dogwood sale coming up. Tell me about that.
Exactly. We're going to have a large dogwood tree sale this spring. We're going to have locations at Kyler Park and downtown at the gazebo. And we hope to have, we will have at least 50 trees at each location. We're going to have brochures, and we're also going to have some tree experts on hand to answer any questions that people might have about planting.
And there's several nurseries that are involved. How are they involved, in what way?
They are supplying the trees for our sale. They're selling them to us at a wholesale price, and we will be able to sell the trees to the public at a much lowered price. And they want to help invigorate this program as well.
And I'm going to list the nurseries that are involved. We're going to have them on a graphic too. Eads Garden Center, Edwards Nursery, Montgomery Gardens, James Sanders Nursery, and Walls Landscape and Garden Shop. A big thank you to all the nurseries that are helping out and making the city a more beautiful place. Now, the Civic Beautification Board also has several other programs that they are involved in. One of those programs is the Annual Business Award. Now, Dabney, tell me, what is the Annual Business Award?
It is an award given to a business that has shown done an outstanding job of improving their landscaping and their part of the town. And they're presented once a year, and it's quite an honor.
And we do have all that on the city's website, paducahky.gov, so you can look at some of the past Business Award recipients. Also, you can look on the website and find all of the House of the Month winners. And tell us, what is House of the Month?
Okay, House of the Month is actually a committee that drives through the neighborhoods trying to locate a home that's maybe done a particularly good job of improving their landscaping or maybe just some repairs to their home, an addition, those sorts of things. We look at somebody who's really working to keep their home looking beautiful.
And you send out the email once a month to
That's
the
right.
Paducah Sun as well as to me to put on the city's website. And I enjoy opening up that email to see the house of the month because I'm always interested to see their landscaping, to see the colors. I mean, there's some beautiful homes out there.
Beautiful homes. And we are so proud of Paducah because so many people really do make the effort.
And they do, they really do. That's what makes Paducah such a beautiful place. Another program that Civic Beautification does is Adopt a Spot. Tell me what Adopt a Spot is.
Okay, Adopt a Spot is businesses and organizations and even maybe church groups that want to take a piece of a piece of public land and maintain either a planter or a landscaped area. And it can be anyone. It can be a private person maintaining a public spot.
Or it could be a whole organization. I know even there's a place in Calvert City that has adopted a spot in Paducah.
Correct.
Very, very interesting. It can involve the whole community and the whole region. Something else that Civic Beautification Board has been involved with, the beautiful Welcome to Paducah signs. Tell us about that.
We're really excited about those because we've revamped them and we're working on having 6 new signs at different entrances into the city of Paducah. So please take a notice of those. They're really charming.
And they're beautifully landscaped around them.
Absolutely.
And I think that is one of the Adopt a Spot locations that we have. If you go and look on the city's website, you can see how they were planting around the entrance sign. So it was very nice. And one thing that the Civic Beautification Board really involves themselves in is using the expertise of the people around them. That's why we had Les Evans with the City of Paducah, a certified arborist. We've had Bud Qualk, a master gardener. There is another board that works alongside Civic Beautification, and that is the Tree Advisory Board. Now, what's their role?
The Tree Advisory Board was established in 2005, and it advises on matters of care and preservation of trees in public areas.
And that's so important here because we have the designation of being a Tree City USA.
Absolutely, and we are very proud to have that designation.
It's great to have that. That's one of the logos that we have on the city's website, right there on the homepage.
And thank you for maintaining that
Thank you so
website.
much.
It's beautiful,
Well, thank
fantastic.
you. Definitely go to paducahky.gov. There's all kinds of information on there about the Civic Beautification Board as well as the Tree Advisory Board, so check out all of the details that are there. Well, thank you so much for watching Your City at Work. I'm Public Information Officer Pam Spencer. On ways to beautify and I'm your host Pam Spencer, Your City at Work. That's going to be on there, isn't it?
That's definitely.